The US Department of Justice filed suit against Apple on Thursday, the first significant antitrust effort by the Biden administration against the iPhone manufacturer. The suit alleges that Apple monopolized smartphone markets.
Earlier today, the Department of Justice, joined by 15 states and the District of Columbia, sued Apple in the U.S. District Court for the District of New Jersey for violating Section 2 of the Sherman Antitrust Act.
Apple is the latest high-tech company to be sued by U.S. regulators, following Amazon, Alphabet's Google, and Meta platforms, all of which were sued during the administrations of former President Donald Trump and President Joe Biden, respectively. Attorney General Merrick Garland said in a statement,
Apple charges as much as nearly $1,600 for an iPhone. But as our complaint alleges, Apple has maintained monopoly power in the smartphone market not simply by staying ahead of the competition on the merits, but by violating federal antitrust law. Consumers should not have to pay higher prices because companies break the law.
He added that Apple's smartphone monopoly will continue to expand if it remains uncontested. According to the Justice Department, Apple allegedly exploits its market dominance to extract additional compensation from publishers, small businesses, merchants, developers, content creators, artists, and consumers. In the civil litigation, Apple is charged with maintaining an illegitimate monopoly on smartphones by imposing contractual restrictions and denial of critical access to developers. Antitrust investigations and mandates have been directed at Apple in Europe, Japan, and Korea, in addition to legal actions initiated by corporate competitors like Epic Games. Prosperous among Apple's enterprises, the App Store, which levies 30% commissions on developer purchases, has already withstood Epic's protracted legal challenge under US law. Although Apple was found not to have violated antitrust laws in the lawsuit, a federal judge ordered the company to permit links and icons that enable users to purchase apps without incurring Apple's in-app payment commission. The App Store business model of Apple has been significantly disrupted in Europe due to the implementation of the Digital Markets Act, which commenced earlier this month. Importantly, Apple does not intend to charge commissions for developers to operate their own app stores. However, competitors including Epic and Spotify assert that Apple continues to make it too difficult for developers to offer alternative app stores. The judgments regarding Apple's App Store compelled the Justice Department to examine additional Apple practices, including how external companies are granted access to the iPhone's processors and sensors, to formulate a complaint. Tile Inc., a manufacturer of smart trackers, is one of the consumer hardware companies that has long complained that Apple has limited their access to the iPhone's sensors while developing competing products with unrestricted functionality. Apple introduced AirTags, a product that aids users in locating misplaced items such as vehicle keys, for sale on the market several years after Tile introduced a comparable product. Similarly, Apple has limited access to the iPhone's processor, enabling contactless payments. To add credit cards to an iPhone, one must use Apple Pay, an application developed by Apple. Additionally, Apple has been criticized for its iMessage service exclusive to Apple devices. Apple has maintained for quite some time that, for privacy and security purposes, it restricts third-party developers' access to certain user data and iPhone hardware. Now, do you think the Apple is involved in unfair practices? Let us know in the comments. We discuss such interesting subjects every day. Please subscribe to the channel and share and like the videos.